In Paladins, every champion has 3 talents. Some are good and some are less good. In this series, I will be going through every champion in Paladins and taking a deep dive into their worst talents and telling you how to best utilize them. Welcome to Talentless Talents. My previous videos covered talents, which while underwhelming, were still far from unplayable. Because of this, I feel like the series has not been living up to its name thus far. Now, I will show the world true pain, in the form of a talent, Blood Reaper. Despite having a sick name, this talent is really bad, and I wouldn't blame you for forgetting that it even exists. Here's a quick reminder. Cyclone Strike deals 125% of its target's maximum health as damage over its duration, and your movement speed is increased by 25% during the attack. So basically, the ultimate, Cyclone Strike, does more damage, always more than the max health of your target, and it also moves faster. This means that when you play Blood Reaper, anyone caught in Cyclone Strike is dead, right? Wrong! Problem 1. Why doesn't anyone die? I cannot tell you how many times I caught people in Cyclone Strike and they just didn't die. Almost all of the characters in this game have some kind of movement ability which they can use to escape your ult.
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
That's not a problem. Just play patient and wait for your target to use up their movement ability. In this clip, Furia already used up Wings of Wrath, so it's a free kill for your powered up ult. Alright, maybe this talent was meant to give Koga an easy way to take out frontline champions. I mean, Blood Reaper makes sure that the ult always does enough damage to kill anyone caught in it. So in theory, tanks should be a perfect target due to their slow and sluggish nature. For example, Yaggroth. It's almost like Blood Reaper is built for countering this stupid worm. Huh, I feel like I said that before. Oh well. Yaggroth is a big target, so it takes skill to miss your ult, and because of the extra damage, you are sure to get a kill every time. You know, as long as they don't have their hardening up. Well, hardening at base is a 15-second cooldown. Again, just wait until Yag uses it and then strike. Are you kidding me? Okay, Yaggroth is not as much as a free kill as I thought. How about Fernando? Well, we all saw that coming. But to be fair, Fernando ult counters most other ults. Without it, Fernando is surely a vulnerable target. That's right. Supports exist, the class responsible for babysitting tanks. Without your team backing you up, most support champions can simply out-heal the damage done by Cyclone Strike, even when it's boosted by Blood Reaper. How is this possible, you may ask? It's because Cyclone Strike does not apply caught, meaning you will need your teammates backing you up with fire. Assuming they have caught in the first place. I get that's a hard margin nowadays. Without it, a simple right click from most supports completely shuts down your ult, and I think we all know how reliable your teammates are. If you play this talent for long enough, you'll find that tanks have many ways to survive Cyclone Strike. So maybe the best play would be to go after the more squishy characters who have fewer tools to get out of caught. Well, the normal ult does enough damage to kill any squishy, so what's the point? No, this talent is specifically made for tanks. But why give these barely functioning tools to a flank? You know, the class which avoids tanks and goes after the supports and damages. So, you can either go after the tanks, who have many ways to survive your ult, or go after the squishies, who have many ways to escape your ult. I guess you could just farm Vivians and Tyras. Problem 2.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it!
In this section, I'm going to compare Blood Reaper to Adrenaline Junkie, as out of Koga's 2 other talents, it is most similar to Blood Reaper. Adrenaline Junkie allows you to regenerate energy when you shoot people with machine guns, which is simple, effective, and fun. For anyone unfamiliar with Koga, he uses a resource unique to him, which is simply called energy. All of Koga's movement abilities use this precious resource. Critically, Koga's secondary weapon the high damage dealing claws, consume energy too. You don't want to overuse claws while playing with Blood Reaper, because unlike Adrenaline Junkie, this talent does not give Koga an easy way to recover energy. Therefore, taking a few too many shots with claws leads you to having no or very few ways to escape, and most likely, dying very quickly. Due to Koga's design, picking Blood Reaper effectively means that you are very limited in how you can use the extremely bursty claws, especially when compared to the other Koga talents. Meanwhile, Adrenaline Junkie allows you to do more explosive, risky, and much more fun plays, all while having a higher chance to escape alive. Having the tools to be able to approach and then run away is necessary for flanks, and is something that separates the good flanks from the bad ones. Basically, when you pick Blood Reaper, you lose some of that mobility, which is so important. Blood Reaper Kogas play very similar to Adrenaline Junkie Kogas. You run at people and shoot them with machine guns, but Adrenaline Junkie Kogas can more freely pull out the claws while having enough energy to move in and out of fights. Essentially, despite the buffs Blood Reaper gives to Koga's ultimate, this talent does not affect Koga's playstyle enough, meaning that when you play Blood Reaper Koga, you're actually just playing bad Adrenaline Junkie Koga, up until you get your ult. And for the reasons mentioned in part 1, that buff to the ultimate is not substantial enough to make this talent any good. That's it. Despite not being anything alike, Blood Reaper is just a much worse version of Adrenaline Junkie. There are many situations in which if I had played Adrenaline Junkie, I would have survived. For loadout cards, I suggest not using cards which buff your shadow step like Surprise or Tenacious. While playing Blood Reaper, you won't have the luxury to dash around a lot, and usually do the occasional dash to go around a corner to avoid damage, so these cards won't help you as much as you might think. Instead, I think the Wind's Embrace and Wanted combination, which focuses on agility, works better. Agility is a more energy effective ability, as by the time one finishes, you recharge almost enough energy for another one. In addition, the ammo gained from Wanted allows you to stay in fights longer, which also helps secure the kill. To further enforce this, and also because you'll be using agility a bunch, Wind's Embrace makes you tankier with a solid heal. It's best to keep these cards at a high level like 5, because they will be carrying you. Memento is another useful card. Running out of ammo can have very harsh consequences while playing Blood Reaper or Koga in general. Having extra ammo not only increases how long you can stay in fight, it can help finish off kills you couldn't otherwise. Something to Prove can help you get out of situations in which you are in a bit of trouble. This could help mitigate the lack of escape options while using Blood Reaper. But if you are going to use it, put it at a higher level, otherwise it can feel a bit underwhelming. Harsh Training, a classic health increase card. However, on Koga, it seems almost mandatory due to Koga's relatively low base health of 2000. You will need extra health in fights, as you are going to use machine guns for the most part, which are not the burstiest of weapons. Trigger Happy can be used to make you tankier, especially if you have a buddy playing a pocket support like Corvus. However, pockets are not that good in this meta, which should be taken into consideration. Now, to anyone familiar with Koga, these cards begin to sound familiar. Yeah, these are just good Adrenaline Junkie cards. No, there are no cards that at all synergize with Blood Reaper. Problem 3. The real problem. Blood Reaper is just not fun. This is subjective, but in my opinion, what makes a talent fun is if it changes the champion's playstyle. A good example is Koga's Dragon Fangs. This talent removes the energy cost of claws, instead making you lose health every time you use them, thus encouraging a more claw-centric playstyle. This makes you more of a glass cannon, with a big burst, but also because of the health drain, you become squishier. Not only that, but something special happens in the rare moments when you get stunned with your claws. Going back to Blood Reaper, it's clear that a talent that focuses on ability you won't have access to for most of the game won't really change how you play. But Blood Reaper takes it even further, because even when you do get your ultimate, you're not guaranteed a kill.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I imagine that Blood Reaper is also a pain to balance. This is because the underlying problem is the ultimate this talent is based on. Cyclone Strike is a mediocre ult. and is often used as a last resort option to avoid dying, as it makes you invulnerable. But a meh ult like Cyclone Strike should probably not be something to base an entire talent on. So that means Blood Reaper would probably have to make the ult a lot better in order to encourage players to pick this talent over the other ones. This could lead to some problems, as we've seen with Zin's talent Guillotine. Guillotine transforms Zin's ultimate into a guaranteed kill against anyone caught in it.
Gotcha.
Even worse, before the nerfs, Zin was completely immune to damage and is also granted extra ult charge. This talent was everything Cyclone Strike wished it could be. And it was busted and despised by the community. Even after suffering 2 severe nerfs, losing its immunity in 3.2 Sands of Myth update, and having extra ult charge removed and damage nerfed in 4.4 Shadows, it still is really annoying and better than Blood Reaper. Sad how Koga can't even live up to his master. So, how do you fix this talent? Remove it. There, I said it. It's not like this talent has any kind of following anyway. Blood Reaper is not fun to use, and it's hard to give it a buff which is meaningful and not overpowered. So I ask, why keep this talent? In the Genlock update, the dev team went on a rampage, deleting a lot of garbage talents and replacing them with, probably, better ones, in order to make the game more balanced and my life harder. Why not do the same with Blood Reaper? So, this begs the question, change it to what? Well, here's my suggestion. Koga has a talent based on machine guns, Adrenaline Junkie, and a talent based on claws, Dragon Fangs. Why not have a talent that tries to merge both playstyles? This hypothetical talent could increase the damage of claws after dealing damage to them with machine guns. This could encourage Kogas to soften up their opponents with machine guns and then finish them off with the claws. To further enforce this idea, they could decrease the time taken to swap between machine guns and claws. I'm sure the guys actually getting paid to balance the game could come up with something. This video was a lot more negative than my other Talentless Talents videos, so I hope you didn't mind that. Blood Reaper has a surprising amount of layers to why it's so bad, which was unexpected. I hope that you enjoyed watching me rant about a talent that nobody really cares about, because while this talent is talentless, I hope one day it will be replaced with something more fun. Thanks for watching.